Hi, this is Ganondorf. This is my Devlog 0 of my upcoming Steam game. It is a chivalry-like, so it's a game in the vein of Mordhau, Chivalry, primarily Chivalry 2. There is some unique things about it, and obviously this is not representative of the actual game that's coming out. This was, I want to say, week 1 of development. Okay, this is editing Ganondorf. I I told myself I wouldn't care if people saw the original state of the game, but I ended up really caring. So, this is just a very quick showcase of the fact that the video game doesn't look like what it used to look like. You can pick up things, you can throw, you can get into fights, stuff bleeds, you can even go fishing. Um, that guy's actually going to let me fish, so we're just going to try and fish. Alright, normally, like I said, the bots are pretty bad right now, but he's gonna whack me. And we can fight him with fishing rod, just standard stuff. Just wanted you guys to know that the game was not looking as bad as it looked like it did. One more thing once I respawn here. There's first person. A lot of people were saying that they have to make sure gotta make sure there's first person. Of course, there is in fact first person. So, yeah, I will get into some devlogs soon um, that explain everything, but I know I mentioned there was some better movement mechanics. Just a very quick showcase of what we got. We got some vaulting, we got some wall runs, wall run into jumps. There's a little bit of coyote time. You can fall into water and mess up your jumps. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to give it back to real Ganondorf now. Goodbye. So I'm primarily making this devlog to have a record of where I was, actually just a devlog. So this is devlog 0. The game is in a much better spot than this, but I'm cleaning out old files on my PC because I like to keep my desktop and my internal files clean, and I just don't need this this little test I had back in the day. So, a little bit about this. I absolutely love Chivalry, but I also really love games that have good combat and movement flow, such as Titanfall. Titanfall was a big inspiration. Now, you can't see it in this, but I have added good movement mechanics to the real game, such as wall runs, knee slides. You can climb and vault. You can jump off things. If you fall and attack, the speed at which you're falling will actually increase the amount that you can do. If you hit someone with it, you can actually fall from a height that will kill you. And if you land a hit before you hit the ground, that extra damage will be transferred to the person you land on. So there's a lot of fun verticality to the game that games like Chivalry, Mordhau, For Honor, the combat fighting games just didn't really have. So again, this is Devlog 0. It's not representative of what will be in the game. But what I currently have that still exists, you can do a normal slash, you can do an alt slash, you can do a overhead, an alt overhead, stab, and a normal stab. And yeah, there's even heavies in the game right now. You can kick, that still exists, and it breaks guards, just like in Chivalry. Now, something that differs about my combat. Well, actually, there's a lot of things that differ about my combat, but any fan of the genre should be able to pick it up very quickly. It should feel very similar, very familiar, very like you're coming home to a game that you missed. But the more you engage with it, the more you will realize that it's different. There is some higher skill curve stuff. Now, Chivalry is definitely a very high skill curve game, so I made sure that skill curve still completely exists in my game. It's just that there is other skill and ways to express skill that you can engage with. I will be going into all of that probably in a dedicated combat devlog. I've also created in the game a very in-depth bard and music system. Well, just a very in-depth music system. There's no real reason to be a bard, but there was never a reason to be a bard in games like Mordhau or Chivalry anyway. People just like to do it. So I made something like that, and I will go into that as well. Again, my name's Canondorf. Thank you so much for taking the time to look at my very bad, very silly game. Um, and I promise you, the current version is a lot better than this. Again, Devlog 0. Thank you, and you have a great day.